Another point I want to touch on is the size and the spacing. First of all, the size of the letters you write. I already talked about it a little bit previously, and I think it can influence the writing very much. If you write too large, you run the risk of smearing the bottom of the letters, the descenders like G and H, and sorry, not H, J. When you are writing letters such as H and capitals and going to the upper regions, and also when you make a very long line and your hand is still not used to it, it may come out very wobbly. On the other hand, if you write too small, your hold on the pen tightens immediately and you cannot get your shapes right and it's uncomfortable. So I think you have to experiment a little bit to find your sweet spot and a size that you are comfortable with writing, and that of course could change with the paper, with the nib and with the ink that you're using. One other thing about not size but spacing is that I had a very hard time figuring out what the space between my lines should be, what leading I should use. On the one hand, when I kept my the space between my lines quite large, it didn't feel to me like a cohesive text, it felt like a list. I can look for an example. Even this ruined sheet that I made before, if you look at the top, you can see I kept a lot of distance between the lines so that the G and the C and the L don't collide, and it looks too far apart. On the other hand, here I have them touching, and if I had a J, for example, here, it would collide with a C. So I couldn't decide whether to keep a long space between my lines or make it tighter. I can show you some examples where I was trying to keep it tighter, because in a way I think the overlapping can be nice, it doesn't bother me so much. But look what happened here, do you see? Wait, am I in the center? A G on the top line and an H on the bottom, and I got this little curl in the middle and a very long straight line, very unaesthetic. I also have here, look at these, they're almost touching, but you still get that unpleasing feeling with it. And I have, oh yeah, look. First of all, I have another long line, again a G, and this time an F, and they create the same line with the curl in the middle. And also here, this is ridiculous. I have a Y and I have an I, and the dot came out right in the middle of the Y. So since my guide sheets are all X height, so I have the same ratio for all my lines. 2 spaces are not enough. Here today, this I wrote today, I moved on to 3 spaces, and this is smaller grid, which this is 3.5 millimeters, and it's too small for me, but I keep 3 spaces of leading between the lines, and this is better. I do have them meeting, and there was a point where I just moved my my word Let's see if I can find it. Can't, never mind. So I find that for me the 3 spaces work better. It still feels like a cohesive text, and I don't get the horrible overlaps. Maybe it was pure chance. Maybe you can notice that it's going to happen and keep the space. And if there's a formula for it and you know about it, I would love to know. Please let me know in the comments. This was point number 8.